I feel like this was the longest week ever, y'all. I don't know what this time difference has me all the way messed up. All right. But hey guys, welcome back to Sip with Joy, a show about a girl, her wine, and her feelings. And I am that girl. I am your host, Joy M. Hutton. I am a serial entrepreneur and lover of food and wine. I was like, I can't forget who I am. So welcome back again, guys. Today I am drinking a Pinot Noir. And this is from the Burgundy region in France. See, I haven't even started drinking yet, y'all. This is just purely fatigue. So yes, a Pinot Noir from the Burgundy region in France. And yeah, so we're gonna get into it. You know, I gotta take a sip. If you're in the room, say hi. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. I'm gonna drink this Pinot Noir. Hey Tiffany, thank you. Oh, thanks, Jess Lee. I went to the Texas Emmys this weekend, y'all. I never knew they had an Emmys in Texas, but my girlfriend, who was a host for NBC Texas Today in Dallas, she was nominated for 2 Emmys. So shout out to Vivian Quam out there. So I went to support her. So I did some with my hair. You know, I was like, okay, let me do something with this, and hopefully I don't mess it up this time, because y'all see what happened on the reunion when my hair was a frizzy hot mess. But this works. Hey, Mommy. Hey, Elsie. Thank you so much. Thanks, y'all. I like it too. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Y'all just be hyping the girl up. Okay. Hey, Max. So today is, we're going to talk about, the topic is It Wasn't Me. So one of the viewers a couple of weeks ago had asked about my stance on cheating. And so we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to get into this polyamorous trend, because I don't know. You know, this got me thinking out here about what's going on, because I'm still looking for love out here. And yeah, it's hard out here in these streets. So in my conversations with both men and women about cheating, it seems that men are more unbothered with cheating than women. And y'all can chime in. We got Max in here. You know, Max, I'm going to put you on the spot since you're the only man in the chat. But I want to hear from you all on this topic. And, you know, but I think it's more okay with men than it is with women, and I'm sorry, guys, my mic was all the way over there. But I guess y'all could still hear me because y'all didn't say anything. But anyway, is that better? All right. Is that better? Because I'm like, man, my mic is way over there. All right. So men, you know, women are more emotional. So I think men are more okay with it because they can emotionally detach. But on the flip side, when a man cheats, he wants forgiveness. He expects, you know, forgiveness. And then, but if a woman cheats on a man, then they go ballistic. And y'all know, y'all men, y'all go get real sensitive on us. So don't act brand new like y'all don't. Okay, thanks, Mommy. Yeah, I was like, why do I feel like I don't have my mic over here? So, yeah, we're more emotional as women. So now women, though, are wondering, to cut down on cheating or maybe be detached from it, should we be polyamorous? Are we actually meant to be monogamous or not? Now, you know, for those who don't know what polyamory is, it is when people have multiple loving, intentional, and intimate relationships at the same time. And it's an open, non-monogamous relationship. And apparently there are levels to this ish, okay? So some people, you know, it's just you and your mate, and then you decide to have relationships outside of it. But then you can also be a triad where you and your mate maybe decide to be with another person. You could be a quad where each of you have a mate, and then y'all all together in one. But it's some other ones out there that it's just too overwhelming for me to even think about. So, and then there are guidelines to this, y'all. It's some rules. So you can't just be out here having casual sex. letting each other know when you meet someone, and if you want to bring someone in, if you got that type of polyamorous setup, it's a lot, y'all. Right. K Showtime today said, that's too confusing, but to each his own. Exactly. My mom said, how loving can they really be if you're sleeping around with other people? Max said, when a woman cheats, it's more hurtful because the root of it isn't for her ego, but emotional reasons. Absolutely. With men, he can sleep with other women and not have any connection with that woman. Tiffany said, girl, that's too much. I'm too selfish for all that ish. Max, you're so right. Emotional. So, yeah, when a woman cheats, she really meant to hurt you. And it came from a deeper place. So, polyamorous is really interesting. So, again, it's like, are we meant to be non-monogamous? Because I had a married guy tell me that he no longer believes in the societal norms of marriage. And I'm like, okay, but does your wife also think that? And of course, he didn't have that conversation with his wife, but you have these beliefs, and you're in the house with this woman with your beliefs, and she just thinking, we're just married, we're just one happy family. But I've heard a lot of men have this, or a version of this, where they say we're not meant to be with one person, or it's not natural, and so I'm just, I don't know. And the way society is set up these days, it's got me questioning things as well. So are we supposed to just accept it? Because we continue to hear endless stories about infidelity, and some think that it will never happen to them. But, and I have to admit, when I was married, I was naive to thinking that my husband wouldn't cheat on me. But yeah, that was naive thinking. When I got divorced, I found out otherwise. But, we're naive. We think we have a good guy and it'll never happen to us, and what have you. What do they say? Never say never, because it can happen to you too. But it's just, can we really be everything to one person? I'd like to think that I'm more than enough, and I hope that the person I end up with will too. But, when you think about it, and when you think about it, in any relationship, there's always something missing. But is it a reason to cheat? Is it something that you can communicate about? Because a lot of the times when I hear, oh, yeah, the reason why I cheated, she ain't give me this. Well, did you tell her that? Did you have a conversation with her about what you needed, what you were lacking? So, again, there's always something missing, which is why they cheated in the first place. My mom said, yes, you can be enough. Thank you, Mommy. I think I can be too. Max said, this is why things should be discussed in the beginning so that it doesn't come as a surprise from the woman's standpoint. Exactly. LC said, I don't think it's being naive to trust and love your spouse. I absolutely. I felt naive, though, in thinking that, why would I think that this person, would be deceitful, because there were things that he wasn't honest about. And if you lie about little things, you might lie about big things too. But I'm the type of person, I give people the benefit of the doubt. I like to see the good, But thank you for that, LC. I received that. I definitely received that. So let's think about why people cheat. So because I was like, let me look into it. Because a lot of times we think that it's about love, but is it, and I pulled some of these from Psychology Today. And so sometimes it's anger, especially with men. Men be mad and they like, what? I'll show her, and actually men were the ones that said they do this more so. They cheat more so than women because of anger. Sometimes you need a boost of self-esteem. And I've heard this a lot from guys because they may feel like they're not being seen, and women too. They may feel like they're not being seen and their mate no longer finds them attractive. And so they seek that validation from somebody else. Low commitment, you don't feel like being in a relationship, you don't feel like being committed. And then my thing is, at that point, if you're gonna cheat, just get out of it. If you have that low of a commitment, then you just need to walk away, bro or sis, because we're not gonna put all the onus on the man over here. And then there's a need for variety. So this was also men more so than women, because men feel like they need variety, which is why we got, and men have more options. It's like, women, we out here, we getting the short end of the stick, especially black women. If you want a certain type of black man, our options are very limited. And I'm starting to realize that there are more married men out here than single men. So, yeah. Let's see. Ebony, hey girl. She said, I'll take my guy for self. One person with multiple hats, a little oil or a suit, construction uniform or doctor. the closest I'll accept to it being more than one. Right. He got multiple personalities. Max said, but some people can't walk away because they want their cake and eat it too. And see, this is the problem. But you on the other end of it thinking that everything's good, and then you find out your mate is cheating on you. So then there's neglect. So there's a lack of attention. Men also more than women cheated on women for this reason. They feel like they weren't getting enough attention. And they say we sensitive. Men are sensitive as well, okay? They're like little puppies. So you need to show them attention as well. And then sexual desire. They just horny. This is also men more so than women, okay? And then you have, situational. Oh, it happened because I was drinking too much. Or, you put yourself in a bad situation, like with coworkers, for example. And then the last one, which is usually not the reason, the most common reason, but it is a reason, is falling out of love. Hey, Janice. Hey, Talisa. So falling out of love. I mean, that should be an obvious one, but the other reasons are more common than actually falling out of love. Because at that point, you just ready to walk away anyway. Okay, so I thought this part was interesting, guys, because I'm sure we all want to know, do men cheat more than women? Now, before I get into this, I want to know who you all think cheats more. So drop it in the chat while I take a sip of my wine. Who you think cheats more, men or women? I should have done a poll on Sip with Joy too to see what you all actually think. So I'm gonna drink my Pinot Noir here. So men or women? Okay. Men. Okay, we got 2 men. All right. Okay. So survey says, and this is from the General Social Survey. Survey says, Janice said men too. 20% of men are cheaters, and 13% of women are cheaters. So, ding, 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 men cheat more. Now, although the numbers for women are increasing, because these streets out here, people ain't loyal. Men, she said, although they are cheating with women, since there are more women than men. Robin said men because they usually want their cake and eat it too, as someone said before. Absolutely. Okay, so as I said, 20% of men are cheaters, 13% of women are cheaters, and 16% of married people cheat. Now, y'all, this right here really disturbed me. 22% of black people who are married cheat, compared to 16% white and 13% Hispanic. I was like, now see, we trying to keep the black household together, and we got these numbers like this. Like, why? So basically, black married couples cheat more. Damn. So this is sad. Women cheat more between the ages of 18 and 29. And then this again increases between the ages of 50 to 69. I thought that was interesting. And then it says that men cheat more after the age of 50. I find that interesting too, because I'm like, so you over here in your felines and your jeans, and you over here cheating. Got the nerve to cheat, and you ain't got all your body parts working. I find that really interesting. Tiffany said, wow, that's a mess. Hey, Angelique. Yeah, it's very sad. So I thought that that was interesting. So we do know men cheat more, but like I said, those numbers are rising. So men cheat 54% more than women. So if you have 100 married couples, 20 of those men will cheat and 13 of the women will cheat. So we got to do better. We got to do better. Okay, but again, are we meant to be monogamous? And I feel like, because this conversation was from a question that someone asked a couple of weeks ago, what's my stance? And then what is considered cheating? Like, I think people can have emotional affairs. Women are more likely to cheat with a friend, someone they know, someone they've had an emotional bond with. But there are different ways you can cheat. And there's this article, the article where I got these statistics from. It's just crazy because it talks about how millennials are more likely to cheat with emotional affairs on social media, because you'd be up in the DMs and what have you. And I even just know on social media, I see a lot of married men follow me. And I'm like, that's interesting, because I would be all up in my husband's page like, why you following so-and-so? But I wouldn't do that because my ex wasn't on social media. But for my next husband, so why you following so-and-so is what I want to know. And that's the other thing too. Like, is it cheating if he likes, a photo on social media? Can he have a looky look? Where do we draw the line? Is it, because some people just think it's sex. Men just think it's sex. Women think that you can have an emotional affair. So I think that there are levels to this. Okay, so Max said, my question is, how many of these people are being truly honest with this poll? I honestly, Max, I wonder the same thing, because those numbers actually seemed a little low to me. Because I know a lot of people that, well, I shouldn't say I know a lot of people that cheat, because those are not people that I'm friends with. But I hear about a lot of people that cheat, and I've had a lot of conversations with men who cheat. And it's just, so I believe that those numbers are a little skewed as well. They need to update that for 2022. Look, but don't touch. Okay. Yes. Pop cheating. Right. The old man is cheated. Talisa said if they like a pic, but don't talk with the person, that's not cheating, right? I guess you could, like my mom said, and like Angelique said, maybe it's look but don't touch. Do not engage the subject. And then maybe, it's okay. But I don't know. All right. So yeah, I would definitely like to know some more thoughts on this, guys, because so Max says, so is it a problem liking a photo on social media? I guess like Talisa said, if they like it, but you're not engaging with the person. Because I was dating a guy, and he was making comments on these women's pages, and I'm like, that's inappropriate. And they were inappropriate comments. And my thing is, if you're making comments like that, you probably in their DMs too. So, and I had a conversation with him about it, and he's like, oh, well, at the end of the day, I'm with you, or, so it shouldn't matter. No, it does matter, because if people know that you're with me, that's a problem, because then I look stupid. So it's gotta be some boundaries. Like liking a photo, okay, fine. Maybe I can be okay with that. But then what does liking a photo lead to? Are you fantasizing about this person? Is it just like, I don't know, I'm not a man. So Max, as a man, if you're liking this photo, is that the end of it for you? Or is it like, man, I'm thinking about this woman every day. Like, I wish I could be with her. Where does it end? Does it end at that photo? If it ends at that photo, then hey, by all means. But again, I'm not a man. So, and I know when I'm with somebody, if I'm following some men that I be lusting over, I unfollow them. I don't like other men's pages. I just do not engage, because that's out of respect for the person that I'm with. Now, if they pop up in my Explore page, I might have a looky look, but that's it. I got eyeballs, So Tiffany said he wouldn't have been okay if you did that. LC said, I think when you slide in someone's DM, that's the beginning of the end. If you like the pic, that's fine. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, I just think if that's the end, then all right. But, yeah, it's got to be some boundaries in place. Okay. All right. So the what the sip is Giselle. Giselle is back in the news for me, okay? Because Giselle, they're claiming Giselle already has a boyfriend. Now, I thought it was like 3 weeks ago they just filed for a divorce. Now, I've seen men move on quickly. Now, well, I take that back. What's her name? Kim moved on pretty quickly too. She had Pete Davidson lined up because men usually move on pretty quickly, but these women out here, they moving on quickly too. And honestly, I'm not mad about it, but at the same time, I'm torn on this, right? Because sometimes people say to get over one guy, you gotta, date another guy. But I don't know. Especially if it's a long relationship, I need some healing first before I just jump into a situation with somebody else. So Janice said, the older I get, the more I believe people should just stay single longer until you're really ready to be committed. Yes, I believe that too, Janice. So Giselle has a new boyfriend. He's also an athlete. He's a jiu-jitsu instructor. Now, I'm not taking the athleticism away from him, but he ain't a Tom Brady. And apparently they've known each other for 10 months. So he been there. He been in the picture. So in other words, Giselle is not crying a river for Tom. She is moving on and she is not worried about him. Now, who's to say what was going on before this? See, things will always come to the light. This is what I tell people. I'm like, you can say something now and you can try to sweep it under the rug, but it is going to come to light. It will definitely come to light later. So you can try me if you want to, bro, but it's coming. Let's see. So Giselle must be part of that 16%. Listen, I'm just saying. Ebony said, grown woman activities, period, do unto those as you would want for yourself. Don't do it. Respect. And Angelique said, I think they've been separated for a while. Yeah. But that's another thing, too. So when I was reading about the cheating, it was saying, are you cheating if you're still married but separated? Because until we sign those divorce papers, we still married, So that's another conversation, too. But I think that, I guess since the papers were signed, now she can come out with this guy in the public. She's like, okay, we kept it under wraps. Now it's over, so we're done. Let's see. I agree. Angelique, probably separated before they said something publicly. Absolutely. Yeah. Mom said, I think there was bad blood, and she was like, bye, Felicia. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Things will always come to light. I think that it wasn't purely about football. I believe that there were some other issues there, which there usually are. It's not just one thing. These things build over time, so people may say, oh, it was because of this. Yeah, there was some other stuff. And I said it too when it came out that they were getting a divorce. I was like, it's some other stuff there because this has been brewing for a long time. All right, so Robin said, what if the divorce is dragged out for whatever reason? You would wait to start dating someone new? That's a good question because honestly, when I got a divorce, I was like, listen, I don't know how long this is going to take. And my divorce was actually 2.5 years. And I spoke to one of my former pastors and asked him about that. I was like, so am I just supposed to wait until I get rid of this ninja? Because, I got needs. I need a companion, and then I also was honest too with people I was dating. So, I was like, listen, I am still going through this divorce. So if you have an issue with me still technically being married, then, I'm giving that opportunity for that person to make that decision. Because sometimes I've met men and they're like, oh, yeah, by the way, so you couldn't tell me that when we first met? I said that out the gate so that person can make a decision for themselves. So, so good question, Robin. Like, I was just like, and it's, like I said, it took me 2.5 years, and I was not about to wait that long. So, Okay. Giselle needs to go somewhere, sit down, give herself time to heal, or just date for fun. Nothing serious, no expectations. Absolutely. LC said, I'm sure men wanted to get with her and women were waiting to get with him. Oh, you know it. Both of them are desired, so it's just a given. And like I said, she knew that guy for a while. So yeah, I mean, hey, I'm not judging. Listen, I said if men can move on, women should be able to as well. I was like, wow, that was quick. But hey, all right. So if you guys want to call, because I know I've had a whole mouthful. I had a lot of cards tonight, y'all. This was a topic. I was like, dang, it's a lot to say on this topic. So if you guys want to call and chime in on this topic, 713-396-0277. And I have a few questions here today before we wrap it up, and maybe wait for a caller. All right. So Talisa said, so many couples are going through stuff we know nothing about. Oh, exactly. That's why I said it'll come out, and that's why I honestly just said it. I don't think it was about football. It's more to it. So it's absolutely a lot of stuff. We don't know what's going on behind these four walls, people's houses. So, all right, questions. Okay. Sometimes I want to throw these questions away, but I believe in full transparency, so I'm going to answer y'all questions. LC said, sometimes I think women should not try to do the same things men do. We're not built like men. We aren't, because these emotions be getting the best of us, okay? We just need to operate in our own strengths. Okay. So these questions. Okay, one question. I feel like I've answered this before, but that's okay. I'll answer it again. Would I do another reality show? The answer is no, unless it's about business. Like if it's a business-focused show, I would do it. And if I had not done Ready to Love, if Love is Blind had called me, I would have given Love is Blind a chance because I like the concept. Now I think it's gotten a little watered down because of some of the things that have gone on with these last two seasons. But I think the first season was the best. But I would have done Love is Blind. I think it's an authentic way of getting to know somebody. Now, don't surprise me with somebody that's not a looker, because it's like, man, we ain't built this bond, and then you come out looking like, and that's disappointing. So, yeah. But I mean, they say love is blind. You're supposed to love the person regardless, but you still got to look at that person after you meet them. So Love is Blind, Max, they basically are behind a wall and they're talking to each other. It's like online dating without you seeing the person's face, basically. So you're chatting and you're getting to know each other in a very authentic way. It's like pen pal, but behind a wall. And then at the end, you finally meet the person. You might possibly get engaged. So, I just need, I need them to just do better parents. But I think that with a lot of the dating shows, even with the one I was on, I was like, y'all could have done a little better with the casting. And on all these seasons, I just feel like it's, where are y'all finding these people? So, and even on my season, 7 out of 10 of the women did not have children, and 7 out of 10 of the men had children. So what if we want children? And what if those men don't want children? You automatically just eliminating options. So I thought that was very interesting. I'm like, how did they do this? And I know we were in the middle of the pandemic, but golly. Okay, so Max said, oh, no, I couldn't do that. He said, I need to see your face. Okay, let's see. Okay, next question. How has life been after Ready to Love? Still single. I think being on a TV show actually makes it worse for me, especially if a man who is trying to talk to me has watched a show, because they're not coming to me as their full self. They're coming to me as someone they think I want. And they're trying to conform to this person. And I'm like, how about you just be you and get to know me for me? You can't possibly know who I am by watching me on just 45 minutes, each each week, for a number of weeks. So I want someone who wants to get to know me for me and also just shows up as their full self. So, yeah, still single, still praying. And then the last question is actually a wine question. Thank you. So what's the difference between Pinot, and I think you meant Grigio because the second word was left off, and Chardonnay? They look the same to me. So actually, if you look really closely and you hold Pinot Grigio and Chardonnay up to the light, Chardonnay is a little more yellowish, and the Pinot Grigio has a more pale color. And the taste is way different too. Like Pinot Grigio has more citrus notes in it, more notes of like apple, pear, where you'll get stone fruits in Chardonnay, like peach and apricot. You'll have buttery notes, oaky notes sometimes. So yeah, way different, way different. All right. Hey, Kay. Okay, guys. So if you do choose to be polyamorous, boundaries still need to be set. And it may also cut down on jealousy because you know ahead of time that your partner shares a connection with other people and there are no lies. It's a very open and honest, transparent relationship. But your girl over here, I'm still hoping on a prayer that it will be just me and my boo and no outsiders. So yeah, that's it for me. I'm still holding out, y'all. So I don't know about y'all, but I'm not about that life. So I'm still praying, and I'm praying for the 80% of men that don't cheat, which I still think that number is skewed because only 20% men don't cheat. I don't know. I mean, 20% men cheat. I don't know. I think that number is skewed. Max said, okay, so does the guy choose the other woman or do they both choose? There are both scenarios. So as I was saying earlier, it could be where you both decide on a woman. So I was reading this one story about a woman who said she was friends with a woman, and the guy, he liked her too and she liked her too. She wanted to be more than friends. And so that became their girlfriend. And so they were in a triad. Or you have polyamorous situations where you just decide to kind of have an open relationship where you're both dating other people that you may love or whatever. And then, yeah, you have that scenario. But yeah, togetherness, like I said, if you sharing the same person, yeah, that's a little complicated for me. But there's supposed to be boundaries. Like, it's not just like a casual sex situation, as I was saying earlier. But yeah, I just want to believe that, because some people believe, oh, all men cheat. I don't believe that. At the end of the day, cheating is a choice. You grown, you can resist temptation. You can resist putting yourself in opportunities where you'll be tempted. And I just think that it's possible, and I think when you have those urges, you have to communicate to your mate about what's lacking, because if I'm not feeling seen, well, we need to figure out what's going on. And if there is no salvaging that relationship, then we just need to go our separate ways instead of playing this game where you think you're going to come back to me and still be out here in these streets, because that is not happening. Because I feel like it's hard to repair that trust. Now, people have done it. People have overcome cheating, but I guarantee you that relationship is still not the same. It's a trust thing. So, my mom said, how can you really have a meaningful relationship with the other distractions? Apparently it's possible. I don't know. Like I said, I ain't about that life. But I think also think about how your relationships are with really close friends. Not one person is going to get 100% of the attention. And then there are things like you tell this friend, and there are things that you tell this friend. So it's kind of like you're splitting your love amongst these different people, but you're just not having to choose one person. You're not restricting yourself to that one person. So Yeah. And who has time? I just want to know who has time. Even with dating, like I've heard people say you need to be dating multiple people so that you avoid getting detached to one person. And y'all, I'm just getting exhausted thinking about it. It's just too much. Like I'm 40 and I just really don't have the emotional capacity, physical capacity, or the mental capacity to be spreading myself across multiple people. I just don't. So I don't know how these people are doing. I'm like, do they have jobs? Are they sharing jobs too? Are they sharing the pot as well? Because I need to know. It's just too complicated. So Talisa said, not everybody is built for that. Exactly. LC said, isn't that dangerous when you get intimate? So from what I've read, you have to set boundaries with that. Like you have to, it's protective sex, because especially if it's two women and a man, you ain't trying to get, both women pregnant. I think there are some boundaries, not I think, but there are some boundaries that people establish in these relationships. Like I said, I was reading this one article and it's like, okay, we have to establish how we gonna do this sexually and how you gonna split the time. It's just a lot. It's a lot, y'all. So Kay, yeah, I just answered that, and the answer is no. It would have to be a business show for me. Let's see. Max said, I agree. I think dating multiple people is for the young people. And LC, girl, this is too much for me. Right. It's too much for me too. I ain't got it, y'all. Like the way the way my time is set up, I ain't got it. So, all right, y'all. Well, thank you for chiming in. I figured this would be an exciting topic to talk about because, yeah, these streets ain't safe. Where's my man that wants to be faithful? Just you and me, boo. It's just you and me. I'm waiting, okay? 2023, all right? Let's do it. All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.